Hi and welcome to my Python YouTube channel. It's awesome to have you here. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be great. And make sure to subscribe for future videos. I also have a blog at prosperocoder.com with lots of cool stuff, so feel free to check it out. In the previous part of the Panda3D series, we were talking about transformations in Blender. Today we'll be talking about object mode and edit mode. Let's create a simple scene with just one UV sphere in it. So Shift-A, Mesh, UV sphere. We can zoom in. And now let's talk about modes in Blender. There are several object interaction modes you can work in. You will see them if you expand this drop down over here. So, object mode, edit mode, sculpt mode, vertex paint, weight paint, texture paint. As you can see over here in this drop down, you can see that object mode is the one that is currently selected. In object mode, as the name suggests, you work on whole objects, so you can scale them, rotate and move. On the other hand, in edit mode, you work on the particular elements that make up an object. We're going to see what the elements are, but first let's see how to switch between object mode and edit mode. Well, you can simply select either this mode here in this drop-down, so edit mode or object mode, or you can hit the Tab key on your keyboard. Tab moves you to edit mode and back to object mode. Now before you go to edit mode, you have to select the object that you want to edit. In our case, it's the UV sphere. So with the sphere selected, hit Tab to go to edit mode. And now the sphere looks different. Let's zoom in a bit. Now you can see the elements the object actually consists of: vertices, edges and faces. Let me zoom in one more time to see it even better. Now, vertices, singular vertex. Each of these dots is a vertex. So the vertices are the points. Now the edges are these lines that connect the vertices. And the faces are the surfaces contained between edges. This is a face, this, or this, for example. Now in edit mode, you can use the same shortcuts as in object mode. So for example, to deselect all, you can just hit Alt+A. Now select modes. To select one or more vertices, you must be in vertex select mode. This is the default one. There are three select modes altogether. Here, vertex select, edge select, face select. Now you are in vertex select mode, in which you can select vertices. Now if you press the edge select mode, you will be able to select the edges. And if you want to be able to select faces, you have to press the face select mode button. Now let's select some vertices first. So vertex select mode. And we can select just one vertex, like here, or here, or hold down Shift and select multiple vertices. So Shift, this one, this one, this one, and maybe this one. Now let's hit Alt-A to deselect all. And let's now go to Edge Select mode, here, and let's select some edges. Again, you can select just one edge, like here, or here, or here, or hold down Shift and select multiple edges. Here, 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 and here. Let's deselect all again, Alt-A. Let's go to Face Select mode and select some faces. Again, one face, or hold down Shift to select multiple faces. Now you know how to select vertices, edges and faces. So you can perform some operations on them. There are many operations you can perform, but the ones we're gonna use most are extruding and loop cuts. So let's have a look at them briefly. Let's start with extruding. Let's go to vertex select mode and deselect all. And now to extrude a vertex, edge or face, you just hit E. You can then immediately hit X, Y or Z to constrain the extrusion to one of the axes. When you're done extruding an element, just hit Enter or the left mouse button to confirm. If you want to cancel the extrusion, hit Escape or the right mouse button. So let's start by extruding a vertex. For example, this one over here. I'm panning now, orbiting a bit. Good. So let me extrude it several times, each time constraining the extrusion to one of the axes. So let's hit E and now Z to extrude to the Z axis. Hit Enter to confirm. Now this vertex has been extruded. It's over here. With the vertex still selected, let's hit E again and now X to constrain to the X axis. And one more time, E, Y to constrain to the Y axis. Now we get this. This is new geometry. Now let's undo the operation 3 times so that we remove all the new geometry. So Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. And now let's go to Edge Select mode and let's select an extruding edge, this time without constraining to any of the axes. Let it be this one here. Hit E to extrude and you can move freely. Left click or Enter to confirm. Let's undo again, Ctrl Z. Let's go to Face Select mode and select a face. Now this face is okay. And let's extrude twice. When you extrude a face, the extrusion will be automatically constrained to one of the axes. So E the first time and E again the second time. And now we have to undo twice. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Naturally, you can extrude multiple vertices, edges or faces. Let's select some of the faces, like this. Hold down Shift and click over here and here and here. And now let's hit E to extrude and 2. Enter. This will extrude the faces and move them 2 units away from the original position. So as you can see, you can also type in the number of units. And now let's undo this last operation, so Ctrl Z. Now the next modeling technique is loop cuts. First, let's delete the sphere. Let's go back to object mode, X to delete, and let's add a cylinder. So Shift A, Mesh, Cylinder. Now, here we have a panel where we can tweak some settings. So let's set the number of vertices to 16. This will do. And radius to 2 and depth to 10. Okay, let's go to edit mode, so tab, and deselect all, Alt A. Now let's talk about selecting loops first. If you want to select multiple edges that form a loop, you can do it by selecting one of the edges in the loop with the Alt key down. So let's select the edge loop at the top of the cylinder. Let me zoom in a little. We want to select all these edges around the loop at the top. So in Edge Select mode, we hold down Alt and left click on one of the edges. And this selects all the loop. You can also add loops. You can add new edge loops if you need more geometry. So let's add a loop in the middle of the height of the cylinder. First, let's deselect all, so Alt A, and hit Ctrl R. Ctrl R, and now if you hover the mouse cursor over the cylinder, you will see a yellow loop. Now hit Enter or left click to add the loop. But you're now in slide mode, so if you move your mouse this loop will slide down and up. So if you want it to be exactly in the middle, you have to either hit escape or right click. Good. Let's add another loop in the lower part of the cylinder. So let me zoom in a bit, like so. Now hit Ctrl R. Hover your mouse over the lower part of the mesh where you want to add the loop, and you will see a yellow outline of an edge loop again. So hit Enter to confirm, and now you can slide the loop up and down. So you can position it wherever you want. So let me just move it a little up, like here, and hit Enter or left click to confirm. Now if you confirmed a new loop and you want to slide it later, you just have to select it, it's already selected now, and hit GG, so G twice, G, G, and then you can slide the loop. Escape. Now this is a horizontal loop. You can also add vertical loops, so just hit Ctrl R and hover your mouse over one of the horizontal edges to add a loop cut like this. But I'm not going to do that, so just hit Escape. Now you can add more than one edge loop at once. All you have to do is hit Ctrl R, hover over the place where you want to add the edges, and scroll your mouse wheel until there are as many loops as you need. So let's add 4 evenly spaced loops to the upper segment of the cylinder. To do that, hit Ctrl R, hover over the upper segment of the cylinder, and scroll your mouse wheel 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now you have 4 loop cuts, so hit Enter to confirm and Escape to confirm their position without sliding. Alternatively, you could type in the number of loops that you need. So let's add 10 loops to the bottom segment of the cylinder. Let me pan like that. Here, I want to add 10 loops over here. So Ctrl R, and now type 10 and Enter to confirm and Escape to confirm the position without sliding. In the next part, we'll start modeling our first game asset, a building. We will be discussing all the Blender topics that we haven't covered yet as we proceed. After modeling the building, we'll texture it. Then we'll export the model and load it in Panda3D so that we know right away what it looks like and whether it is displayed correctly. Also, feel free to check out my awesome Blender YouTube channel, which is completely dedicated to Blender. Okay, that's it for this video. If you like it, a thumbs up would be great. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos. If you want to leave a comment or ask a question, you're welcome to do so. Thanks for watching.